For me, just the fact that when we were shooting Iron Man in 2007, he gets shrapnel in his heart, and then Yin Sen puts a metallic tokamak reactor in his chest to keep the shrapnel out of his heart. I mean, it's beyond metaphoric. It's literally the physicalization of it, and I think that's why Stan Lee and the whole just Marvel lexicon is so. It's you know, you still got Thor and Hulk and these other things, but at the heart of it, these are all they're just these archetypes of kind of broken people. I appreciate that there's a modicum of desperation going on during the Civil War of it all. He's like, man, we need backup and who's available and all that, and he kind of got a lead on a prospect, kind of like a baseball scout. Um, and then, fortunately, he just develops this belief in Mr. Parker. First of all, Tony is unlike many superheroes. He's been in a committed relationship for some time, but just like if you have a nice wife, she'll say, "Oh, you can flirt, just don't do anything about it." And I really wanted to play that up because the Aunt May was remarkably different previously, and I've known Marissa for a long time, and she's just a perfect. Uh, you look at the way that Spider-Man: Homecoming is cast; it tells you everything you need to know about what a fresh start this franchise is getting. You know what it's like? Your kid turns 16, and that means they're supposed to be able to drive. But now there's all those apps where you can find out where they are. It's kind of like that. He's attempting in his own half-assed way to do some modern parenting. And also, the stakes are a lot higher than are you going to get a ticket or be an offender bender. I mean, lest we forget, he pulled Peter Parker into life and death situations shortly after meeting him, just a year or so ago. He's self-aware enough to know that he might not be making the right decisions, but you do what you can, and he's a lot more personable than he used to be. Um, Also, if you think about all the times he's been up against these insurmountable odds and situations and all that, it is a little bit the idea of what we were talking about earlier too. Of you're looking for folks you can kind of pass the ball to in case you got to take a powder. In a way, I think Tony looks at him as, wow, this is a really capable kind of. He's got a good moral psychology. He doesn't have the limitations that Tony was born into by being in this military-industrial complex family. This movie is really fun. It's really well conceived. It's highly entertaining. It takes full advantage of all of the possibilities that you would hope a new iteration of Spider-Man would have. It really delivers. It depends on where you join the party. There's an argument to be made that you know, sitting on a, a podium with Kevin Feige, with Michael Keaton, and Amy Pascal, you're going like, who really started this when? It's just something that generationally speaking, it just kind of it seems to still have legs, and I say that as a huge fan of the Spider-Man comics, and it's Peter Parker that introduced me to this universe to begin with. So for me, it's a homecoming. when you see it back or you get the feedback from an audience or from people who are seeing it and reviewing it, you go, yeah, you were right to do that version of it, not this version, because it's always a game of degrees and inches and all that stuff. But also for me, seeing all this young talent coming in and they've been influenced by me and Michael Keaton and now we're actually, speaking of homecoming, we're kind of feeling like, you know what, these kids are pretty damn good.